Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me, here for our Week 14 power rankings. The AFC is looking rather finished. Not many outside chances for teams like the Colts and the Dolphins, but the NFC is going to come down to the wire, so that will be exciting. A couple of comments from last week. We had Roger Goodell stop by. The commissioner of the NFL actually commented on my video, which is pretty insane. He says, so the Chiefs have been to 4 out of the last 5 Super Bowls, but you don't have them in Super Bowl conversation. Of course, Roger, you are worried about the Chiefs because you're rigging all the games for them. If anyone saw the game against the Raiders, the Chiefs had no business winning that game, and the Raiders pulled an all-time blunder, end up losing the game on a snap that they didn't even need to take. It was awful. You all saw it. It was Black Friday. Absolutely disgusting game from the Raiders. But no, I still don't think the Chiefs are Super Bowl caliber. I don't even think they're top 3 in the AFC. Okay, they probably are 3 in the AFC. And then Young Swag said, my week is ruined. You didn't say Jaguars. Well, I hereby declare, Young Swag, that today is Jaguar Day. Jaguar. Let's get ranking. I didn't put these in order. I'm an idiot. And we're just going to roll. No, I can't frickin' roll right there.
A few moments later.
We are good. We got them in order. So here's the deal. We'll start with the NFC West, and this has been consistently one of the hardest divisions for me to rank, partly because I'm biased. I like the Seahawks. They're my favorite team, have been since 2002, and the problem is I know them, and I know that they will fold under pressure. Now, they had a great win against the Jets this weekend when they were down. When they had all the pressure in the world against them, they came back and won that game. They play Arizona this week, and funny enough, I'm going to that game. I've been to 6 Seahawks games in my life. They are 1-5 when I attend. So I'm just telling you, the Cardinals are going to win this weekend. But we'll put the Seahawks there, and we'll also put the Rams there. This division, I don't really want to talk about it. I think all of these teams are very evenly matched. I think the Rams are probably the best team when healthy. I think the Seahawks are maybe a little bit better than the Cardinals, but I think the Cardinals win this week with a home field advantage. And the 49ers, probably one of the bigger disappointments of the year. We'll put them in the category. Obviously, they still have potential. Christian McCaffrey's done for the year. It looks like maybe he ruptured his Achilles again. I don't know. Sad story. But kind of just a weird all-around year for the San Francisco 49ers. The South. My guess is still going to be on the Buccaneers. The problem is the Falcons hold the tiebreaker because they beat the Buccaneers twice. The Buccaneers had a close call against Carolina. Very close call. Now, again, do I think the Buccaneers are better than all these teams? No. But because of how the division is going to shake out, I'm going to put them up here. Panthers looking pretty good for, all things considered for how they started the year. Bryce Young has finally come into his own, it looks like. He's looking good. I really did think Dave Canales and Bryce Young would be a good fit, and it looks like it took them over half the season, but they might be finding something. Nonetheless, I don't think it matters when's the draft. Saints, we'll put them at 6-11. Tough that they had to lose a big chunk of their games in the middle with Derek Carr being injured. They fought the Rams tooth and nail, but the ending went the Rams' way. Falcons will also be in Week 18 Warriors. I have been very outspoken about the Atlanta Falcons all year, saying they're overrated, saying they have an easy schedule, and I will continue to say it. I don't think this team has what it takes to, if they make it to the playoffs, certainly not to win a playoff game, but I'm even questioning the fact that they'll make it to the playoffs, which is why I have the Buccaneers here. NFC North, the Bears, we'll put them at 6-11. Really, really disgusting Thanksgiving last 30 seconds. Matt Eberflus gets fired. They fire their head coach because he forgot to call a timeout, or he chose not to call a timeout, or he wasn't clear with what to do with Caleb Williams in the last 30 seconds. You guys all saw it. Point is, I don't know. Do you fire a guy over one thing? I say no. I say you give the guy a little grace. But, you had a chance to beat probably the best team in the NFL at their place on Thanksgiving, major spoiler game, and you kind of blow it. So we'll put them at 6-11. Packers, comfy playoffs. Absolutely, they will make the playoffs. It will be a wild card because of the Lions, who will continue to be in Super Bowl conversation. I understand that they played the Bears close. I get it, guys. I'm not worried about it. Holiday games are different, right? Thursday night games, short week are different. Again, I'm not worried. And the Vikings will also make the playoffs because of their record. So you have 2 wildcard teams already accounted for from the NFC North, which makes it really tough for pretty much any other team to get in, except maybe the Washington Commanders, which we will put in Week 18. Warriors, they right now have the best shot to make the wild card. Cowboys are done. We'll put them at 6 and we'll put them at wins the 6 and 11. We'll put them at 6 and 11. They've won 2 straight, which has got to count for something, right? Did they beat the Giants? I think they beat the Giants, dude. I don't know. Thanksgiving feels like an eternity ago, and it was only 5 days ago. Giants will put in wins the draft, but Drew Lock, maybe there's something there. I was a little shocked that Drew Lock was the third string option over Tommy DeVito. I know Tommy DeVito looked decent last year, but Drew Lock, bad situation in Denver. Seattle kind of gets usurped by Geno Smith, who played well. I do think Drew Lock has some talent, so we'll go ahead and put that there. Did I do every team from the North? No, the Eagles. The Eagles. I think we have to do Super Bowl conversation with the Eagles again. I was shocked. I said in my weekly picks video, I said, this team is 3.5-point dogs against the Ravens, who have lost to bad teams. That doesn't feel right. I really like the Eagles this week. Well, by golly, the Eagles liked me as well, and they get on to win the game, all right? So, yeah, really, really solid team, and I spoke ill of Jalen Hurts last week, and it was met with a lot of criticism in the comments, so I will watch some more Jalen Hurts. I can only say what I see, and I've seen a lot of his mistakes, and maybe I'm just noticing those. I wasn't trying to take anything away from Jalen Hurts. I don't know if he is a super polished, like stereotypical quarterback. He's still good. He's still a great player. I would still like him on my team, but I don't need to explain myself. You guys get it. Okay, let's order these up. I would put the Lions first. I would put the Eagles second, but I'm starting to think maybe there's an argument that could be made for the Eagles to be above them. As for this, again, I don't think the Buccaneers are. You know what? We'll do this just for the sake of not making anybody mad. Who's better? I don't know. Right now, I honestly think the Packers are better than the Vikings. But yeah, you know what? I'm going to leave it like that. As for this tier, I would do something like this. I don't know. Washington scares me. A couple of bad losses, but then again, a couple of huge wins. I would do something like this. I feel pretty good about this. That's fine. Moving down here, I think the Bears are probably the best. Saints, Cowboys. Okay, this looks pretty good. I feel really good about the NFC. I say that all the time, but I do feel good about that. Okay, Bills, Super Bowl conversation. I don't know how I'm supposed to prove that to you guys. I can't prove it to you. It's just something I feel and something I see. So we'll go ahead and do that. The Patriots lose a close one to the Colts. They look good. Drake May is the future, I believe. We'll put them at 6 and 11. Although I don't know if they're going to win 6 games, they have on paper the potential to maybe get some things done towards the into the stretch. Dolphins. People have been arguing with me about the Dolphins. I looked a horrible Thanksgiving night against Green Bay. Awful. And I get Green Bay could be one of the better teams in the NFL, but I don't know. You take 2 out of Miami, and something just isn't right. I'll put them at 6 and 11, but I'm going to slot them up pretty high. The Jets. I don't know how that's possible to put them in wins the draft. I truly do not know how. I don't know how, but I am. The Bengals. Well, here's the deal. The Bengals will be studied. This season from the Bengals could be its own documentary. When it's all said and done, I think we're blinded by the other 31 teams and what's occurring. The Bengals, just what Joe Burrow is doing with absolutely no results is unbelievable. Really, truly unbelievable. We're going to put them in Like, if you thought last night the Browns losing with Jameis Winston having almost 500-yard passing and 4 touchdowns, that's kind of what the Bengals have had every single game this year. They don't have a chance. Like, okay, here's the deal. They're probably, like, realistically, they're 6 and 11, but I just think they're a better team than what their record shows, okay? Ravens will make the playoffs. It will be comfortable. They may not win the division, though, because of the Steelers, which will also make the playoffs. I'm not willing to say that either of these two teams are Super Bowl caliber right now. Too many bad losses, and just they're missing something. And maybe they found it with Russell Wilson, and I just need to warm up to the idea. But I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they have what it takes to compete with the Bills. So we'll do that. And the Browns have looked good with Jameis Winston. and I'm going to reward them for it. Typically, I would throw them in wins the draft, but I'm going to put them in 6-11 just because of the play that they have been able to do. They beat the Steelers last week, and they almost beat the Broncos this week, so we'll put them at 6-11. The Colts are the only team really in the AFC with a realistic shot, semi-realistic shot to make the playoffs. We'll put them in but it's a very outside looking in sort of situation. The Texans will make the playoffs. They will win the South, but they're kind of struggling a little bit. Game in Jacksonville was way too close. They lose last week to Tennessee, so I would hope that these last 2 weeks are a wake-up call. Jaguars, Jaguars wins the draft for the Jaguars. Tennessee Titans. I thought they'd compete a little bit more with Washington. Really, I did after they beat Houston, but they did not. Wins the draft for them. Okay, in the West, the division with the most potential outside of the North. They've already clinched the playoffs. Like that's done, right? Now it's just a matter of, are they going to get the bye? Are the Bills going to catch them? I don't know, but by what I'm seeing, everybody wants the path to go. I'm just kind of sick of. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of them winning the way they have. Chargers should make the playoffs as a wild card. It will be. Oh gosh, this is going to be close. Really. Yeah. Both of these teams should be. I'm gonna slot them down here just because I don't know if they're this caliber, and then wins the draft. So let's order all of these teams. Lions, Eagle. I think all of these teams are so close. I think if all of these teams played each other 10 times, it would go 5-5, and each team would win 4 of their home games, 1 of their away. Okay, that's how I feel about these teams. I'm gonna leave it here, but you can debate amongst yourselves. As for this, I think the Texans are the worst team, and I honestly, in a weird way, I think this is probably close. Again, it's the NFL. Anything can happen any given week, but the Packers are looking good. Steelers, Ravens, all these are very, very, very close. Slim margins, guys. Please don't be critical. Slim margins with all these teams. As for down here, I think the Broncos are probably better than these teams, pretty close to this caliber. Chargers, kind of the same idea. Maybe I'd give them the slight nod over the Broncos. I'm okay with this. This tier, I think the Bengals are the best team. I'm fine with that. This tier, I'd probably move the Dolphins up to the top. That's fine. I'll do that for you guys. The Browns, probably about right in here. That looks pretty good. And then wins the draft. Not that we're going to have to rank bad teams. We're not going to rank bad teams. We never rank bad teams. Okay, so there you go. I feel about an 8 out of 10 out of this one. I don't feel too shabby about this one. This one's not too bad, okay? So that's that, Week 14. Week 15 is next week. Here's the deal, guys. Like I said, I'm going to the Seahawks game. I don't live in Arizona. It's freezing. I don't know if you could tell by what I'm wearing. It's freezing here. It's like 20 degrees. So we'll see about the video next week. Just stay tuned. I plan on making all the videos. They just may look worse in quality, and they may be on a slightly different schedule. So stay tuned for that. We'll be live from Arizona. I might vlog about the game. If you guys want me to make a vlog about the Seahawks game, going to the Seahawks game, write vlog in the comments, okay? Thank you guys so much, and we shall see you tomorrow when I make my picks.